Howdy, howdy. I recently just got a question from a friend of mine basically asking, how do you move on from, a memory that's got you stuck? And we've all been there. And now, to my friend who asked this question, if I'm not getting this right, let me know. If I'm not understanding, but I think that's exactly what you were asking. So we've all been there. We've all had, let's say it's an altercation with somebody, and we just keep replaying it over and over, even years later. We kind of cringe away from that memory, right? It just makes you feel icky. So basically, it's about not avoiding the thought, not avoiding the memory, just changing the memory. This is what I do, and it works like a freaking charm. Now, sometimes if I perceive it to be big, it's like if you had an altercation with a stranger, chances are you wouldn't, you could revise that and it'd be no big deal. It would instantly fix. But what if it was like a loved one? What if it was somebody who's very special to you? What if it's like an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend and you guys had a horrible falling out? End of the, really, really bad, really bad. How would how do you move on from those things? And every time you think about it or whatever, you just get stuck in the bad. All right. So like I said a minute ago, it's about changing the memory. Okay. So again, every technique I do, and there's three of them and I'll tell you all of them. I do it lightly. I don't make a big deal about it. I don't sit there and check in to see if it worked or anything like that. Okay. So the first thing I do if I'm, have one of those sticky memories and I'm just trying to move on from it, I revise it. I'll revise the situation. I'll be like, that's not what happened. That's not how that boyfriend and I ended, it ended great. And I'll even give it a story. It'll be something like, oh, we had such a wonderful, breakup. We had a great breakup. In fact, we're still just best of friends. And and you don't have to say why. You don't need to do anything like that. You just go, oh yeah, we had a great breakup. It was such a fantastic relationship and I learned so much about myself. I love that. I love it. That's one. The other thing you can do, part two, is sometimes I'll just take my magic eraser and I erase them from my memory. And, it's funny because it's like, well, how do you know if it works? Well, because you don't remember. But that's kind of a paradox, right? So you don't, I erase that person. I erase that I ever even knew who they were and we had any kind of interactions or whatever. I just erase. And then I walk away and I go live my life. And I don't sit there and go, oh, did it succeed? Did I fail or whatever? I'm the operant power here. I'm the, infinite intelligence here. If the desire to erase them with my magic eraser comes up, or even erase, a memory of my childhood, even being my entire childhood, whatever. You can revise 100,000 different things. You can revise that you had a completely different childhood somewhere else. Maybe you were born in Southern California and you're like, no, I was born in Ireland. You like I said, you're the operant power here. And while it may sound far-fetched, guys, it has far-reaching effects. Far-reaching effects. Okay, step one, try it, is revision. Step two, magic eraser. Step three is find a better memory that you had with this person. So once again, maybe you guys had a falling out. Maybe this person attacked you verbally or whatever. Just remember a time, because there's always a memory in there. That's good. Just remember a time where the two of you had a delightful, wonderful conversation. And I like conversations. I don't like experience, like, oh, we went out to dinner and we had a great time. No, I find a conversation, and that's just me. I'm a conversation type person. I just remember a time where the two of us had a wonderful conversation, and it was so good I didn't want it to end. We've all had these with people. We've all had those conversations. Just the most wonderful conversation where you didn't want it. The two of you were right on track. The two of you were just talking about the same thing, and you both were just, it was like a great tennis match where you're just volleying back and forth. Okay. So yeah, that's it. It's just do one of those. The whole thing, guys, is about this. Always bring it back to you. Always. Okay? Stop thinking about that person and why did they do that and why blah 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 blah. You're not upset at them. You're not. You're not upset at the God that they are. You're just upset at the state. The state. Think state again. States are I ams, okay? And in that moment they were playing with the state of I am mad or I am angry or whatever, you know? And it doesn't that has no meaning to you whatsoever. It has nothing. You always bring it back to you. And what do you want to do? Do you want to revise it so that it happened completely differently? Do you want to take your magic eraser and just erase the whole damn thing? Or can you think of a memory where the two of you had a great conversation and, it was one of those fantastic, amazing conversations that just lit you up, completely lit you up, right? And it doesn't, walk away from anything where you're like, well, if I remember it happily, is that going to bring them back in my life? Is that blah, blah, blah? Stop. Remember, no hows, only wows. All right? No hows, only wows. Your life is only one wow after another. And trust you. Okay? Trust that there's a part of you that's just like, we had that altercation for a reason. See, for me, I know a lot of times I'm on the fence about something and I need to walk away. So let's say it was with my past boyfriend. Oh my God, what a relationship. Toe curling, wonderful, toe curling sex, wonderful adventures. Oh my God, so many wonderful adventures, so many wonderful, wonderful things. But it ended on a very bad note. So am I talking about the very bad note, or do I just see? I have no problem with any of our memories. So I'm okay there. But how do I want to remember this? I could erase it. I totally forgot what I was talking about there. Why that subject even came up. That doesn't matter. So, I mean, you get the idea. Keep it simple, keep it easy. Don't make a big deal about it. Don't check in to see if what technique you used worked. Some things take longer, but you just persist, right? You just persist. Every time that person comes up or that situation comes up in your memory and it's not where you want to be, just with a very gentle, yeah, whatever, you just persist in your memory. Remember, persistence is always the key, whether it's Mother Nature, water carving through rock. How do you think the Grand Canyon was created? Persistence. All right. So if it comes, again, don't check in on it. Don't check in on it. I think that was the reason I brought up the whole boyfriend thing. I had a really bad altercation with somebody, and it wasn't this boyfriend, but it was somebody else. We had a really bad parting, and for the longest time, I couldn't think about them any other way than ugh. And I revised, and I did all the techniques. And basically what I had to do is just move into the space of trust that this was going to work. I couldn't even do the persistence thing anymore. I couldn't even do that anymore. I just had to one and done, basically. I just did one technique and it's done, and I just walked away. And the interesting thing is with this question, I checked in on that one and done process, and I realized there's nothing there anymore. It's not that I don't remember this person. I don't remember the poor, getting away from each other. It's just there's nothing there. There's no feelings there. There's no feelings of anger. There's no feelings of happiness, joy. There's nothing there. It's like a vacuum. And that's cool. So I hope I answered your question. If you have, if I didn't, let me know, and we'll go on from there. Take care.